Well, welcome, friends, to a rainy, very rainy Dutchess Stadium, and you haven't gone crazy. It's Sunday, but it's Renegades Weekly. I'm Rob Adams. That's Zach Neubauer.
Hi, everybody.
He made a huge decision. Actually, he didn't make the decision, but the decision was made to not play baseball today. That's the first thing to start with.
Yeah, don't pin me with that.
No.
I didn't make that call.
I'm not going to pin you with it.
No, if it was up to me, there's a hurricane outside and they're still trying to throw a ball around.
Play ball.
Play ball, baby.
Play ball, but not today. We're not going to do it.
Not today. The forecast, we always want to try to get as much baseball in as we can. And we took a peek at the forecast yesterday, knew it might be a possibility, but really you want to see what it looks like on the day. Who knows how weather works? I don't. Maybe there's a meteorologist watching, but we took a peek and it went where it went.
Put that in the comments. If you're a meteorologist, we'll jump right on that.
Just a general how weather works.
Exactly.
That would be great. That'd be very helpful.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
So no baseball today. It will be made up, though, of course.
Yeah. The plan is to do it, and I'm trying to remember the specific date off the top of my head, but
I know it.
You know, is it 18th?
I know it. June 18th.
June 18th.
5:05.
Yep, we are playing a doubleheader because Jersey Shore comes right back to play here again in 2 weeks here at home. So they will be playing. We'll play a doubleheader starting at 5:05, similar to what we did yesterday with the two games. We're just going to start at 5:05. We'll have a light show after game two 7-inning doubleheaders. Your ticket is good for both games. So it's called a single ticket double header. There's about roughly a half hour between games. And come on out to the ballpark. There's going to be plenty of tickets available.
Just to watch us run like crazy in between the two games is half the fun because that was intense.
Yeah, the insanity. So we have like stuff that I put out post game, and I was sitting there like frantically trying to get it all done so that I could get back up in time for the start of game two. And it's a wild ride doubleheader.
It really
a good time.
is. Oh yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. But the most intense thing for a broadcaster and the people who talk about it is the lineup. And the lineup didn't make its way to us until maybe 10 minutes before first pitch.
Yeah.
And I had Rick Zolzer going, "Hey, can you do me a lineup card?" And I'm like, "We're about to start."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay," and he left, and so we all made it work. As I'm sitting furiously writing everything down because you do the defensive chart and everything. Oh, geez.
Yeah, you start flying stuff around, and with us, we've got so many cameras that are on batteries here that it's like it was like I'm in my office trying to post stuff, and every camera guy, save for Sean, who's the only one who's got a hardwired camera.
That's true.
Like everybody ran into my office looking for new batteries, and I was like, yeah, guys, can you just grab your batteries and not be in here because I have like 3 computers going right now trying to get everything out. But
I'll tell a funny story related to that. So last night, and keep in mind, it was chilly here last night. It was not really baseball weather last night. In terms
all
of
weather's baseball weather.
But it was for some. It was cold. I will sit through anything.
Yeah.
But
for the thin-skinned among us, I was wearing shorts.
Well, yeah, I was bundled up. That's true. 7th inning, game 2. Renegades are leading. And Bryson Stott leads off with the first pitch with a home run, and I could see the deflation on the faces of those camera people. One of them being my own child.
Yeah, and luckily Sean's inside, kind of. So it's maybe a little chilly in here, but the ones that were out amongst the elements, I don't think were all that enthused about a top of the 7th home run. And by contrast, I think they were all very excited by the walk-off.
They will all remember the name Eric Wagaman, who bailed everyone out with a base hit up the middle last night, scoring Oswald Peraza. And how about Peraza? A hustle double the whole way because he hits a little bloop that gets knocked down around first, goes into shallow right, but he runs the entire way, hustles to second, steals third, comes home on the base hit. So it was a good finish.
Yeah, we put out a player of the game after each game, and I had cut together one for Hayden. Is it Wesneski?
Yep.
Wesneski.
Yep.
Who had a really good pitching performance. But like you look at Peraza's game, it was he had 3 stolen bases total. He had that sort of screwball double.
Yeah.
Right? Because that thing it caused problems for whoever the first baseman was over there.
Yeah, Rudy wrote.
Yeah, but great hustle play to get second, steals third on the Duran strikeout, and that basically sets everything up for Wagaman to knock him in. And I mean, the Wagaman single, that's about they don't don't teach you to hit better than that. That ball went right back up the middle. He squared it up. The sound coming off of your little sound mic.
Yeah,
that sounded great.
That's just this mic sitting right here on this ledge to my right. So
yeah, but that was about as well as you can manufacture a run there.
And Wagaman's been one of those guys who has scuffled a little bit throughout the season. So I'm not sitting here rooting, but you do get you get sucked into certain stories. People you can't help but feel good for them. So I felt good for him last night.
Not everybody's going to break out the gates like gangbusters. Some people would take it just for whatever reason, the ball's not bouncing their way, and it hasn't really bounced Wagaman's way, but you can tell that he's a good player. He's a good hitter. Yeah. And I think he's going to start finding his stride here, especially you get sort of the big walk off. You get kind of that boost of confidence back a little bit.
Yep.
I'm going to go on the record and say that he has a nice little performance in next week's series against Wilmington.
We have comments, by the way.
Oh, we got comments.
We do.
Are they helpful weather comments?
Well, no. One of them. Well, yeah, I guess it is helpful.
Yeah. Do we have a weatherman?
Well, no, we don't have a weatherman.
I figured with all your weird broadcasting tentacles out there, you might know a weatherman.
My tentacles, I spread them out.
Well, right, yeah.
It feels
You're a man who's connected.
Here's the comment.
Should I just keep interrupting you while you try to read the comment?
May I go now?
Go ahead.
Thank you. It feels...
So, when I was...
Why do I put up with you? It feels like it's raining pineapples out there today.
Pineapples.
We're back to pineapples.
Pineapples. I was thinking the other day how much fun it would be to because I want to be like they had in Lambeau Field, the Green Bay Packers, the fans used to moon the opposing buses.
Would that be the frozen tundra?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, but they used to moon the buses when people. Are you gonna try to do the thing where you interrupt me every single time?
No, I won't do that.
You're not gonna steal my bit right in front of me, Rob. But they would moon the opposing team as they came in, and I kind of like little traditions like that. I'm not saying anybody needs to show their butt to the Blue Claws when they come back. But one of the things I thought might be kind of fun is we put together a cool playlist for our team, and then put together just the most depressing funeral music for when they're taking BP when the other team is.
Good old, do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, maybe some Disney hits. Maybe hit Angel by Sarah McLachlan. Everybody's got visions of dogs that are not going to make it, while they're trying to hit.
I do remember, I think it was probably a high school baseball game I was doing out in Connecticut, and the other team started taking BP, and I'm writing lineups, and all of a sudden I hear, do you want to build a snowman? And I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked at the kids playing it, and they're just grinning. And I went, that is so demonically brilliant.
Yeah, it's fun because then they just get focused on what's happening to them, right?
That was so good.
I was we'll get Brahms lullabies or something playing out there, just really or my kid's got a pile of different nursery rhyme sounding musical stuff to put her to sleep. We could put that out there.
You're making more friends. I like Zach just for making a Packers reference.
Hey, go Vikings. Sorry, from Minnesota.
Boy, you teed that
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Hot dish up north.
And yet this is a guy who doesn't really like hockey.
No, can't stand it. No, I shouldn't say can't stand it. That's not 100% accurate. Overly bored, I guess.
Overly bored. Wow. Overly bored.
Give me the action.
Hey,
give me a fadeaway jumper.
Swish. Train of thought. No, it's good. It's back. Speaking of rivalries,
sure,
it was kind of building a little bit this week.
There was a little tension this week.
I like
it. So first of all, I think series MVP goes to, and I'm already going to blank on his first name. Is it Kyle McDonald? Kyle McDonald. Mm-hmm. Heck of a catch over in right field. It was funny. We were talking about, speaking of the player of the game graphics, we gave him player of the game. He knocked in 3 runs. He had a solid performance.
He did.
But Peraza went 5 for 6 that game with a couple doubles. And I was like, nah, we're giving it to the dude who just smashed into the bullpen for a catch.
Could you really see that catch? Because from here, it's one of the few things I can't see is that very corner.
So I believe, if memory serves, I think for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why, I was on the concourse level.
Oh, okay.
Over on the third base side for that. And so I got a pretty good look at it and was like, ooh, because he went flying into the wall. Yeah. And it was, if you watch the footage, one of our interns is out shooting some B-roll and stuff, and he was over there and he's like, it was so loud. It was just a boom when he hit it. And you could tell when he got up, you're like, all right, just just be all right. That was a pretty dope catch, but please just be okay.
Yeah,
and then
please.
he comes in, sacrifice fly to score a run, and then comes up and knocks in another run. We had Peraza all loaded up as player of the game. When he knocked in when he had that hit and a couple innings later, I was like, all right, we're switching. We're going Kyle McDonald because that's just awesome. I love it when dudes sacrifice the body a little bit.
And McDonald coming around second later in the game, I thought something happened middle of the field because he looked a little like he was coming up a little lame coming between second and third. But in reality, as you correctly pointed out, he got to third, slid in, and there was a hard tag put down.
Yeah,
and it was time to play the feud.
And there was a little he was not happy. A little saltiness. Nope. And he's got that great mustache too.
Oh yeah.
Like he looked like this was like a biker bar brawl about to break out. But it was he came around, he slid head first. This is after he smashed into the wall. So I'm sure his body doesn't feel great. And like the guy at third base, McDonald's clearly safe, but the guy delivered just a hard tag right to his back. And he took a little exception to it, popped up, got a little vocal. Things got a little testy.
And it calmed down. It did. But, you're going to play 6 games. You run the risk of this happening because you're seeing each other so much. You get so familiar. Batters get hit. Teams take offense to that. So there were all kinds of things kind of bubbling under, and we'll see if it ever goes anywhere.
But we had talked about this in one of the earlier episodes about like the rivalries that develop here, that or the little rifts or the little slights that happen here at this level that can manifest themselves down the line. Like, who knows? 5 years from now, like maybe there's a Yankees-Phillies World Series, and a couple guys that are on this team for the Renegades and a couple guys that are on the Blue Claws might have a little bad blood still. And who knows how that could manifest itself. And that's kind of fun, I think. Oh,
yeah. I mean, right now, and look, there's still such a long way to go. Anything can happen, but you feel like a guy like a Peraza, Medina, even Waldichuk, and some others, obviously. I'm not trying to paint anyone, but you feel like some of these guys are going to wind up in the Bronx. You look across the way from Jersey Shore, like a Highland Ortiz who was putting on just a complete laser show the other night with a grand slam, a second solo home run, and 6 RBIs total. These are guys that maybe they wind up in Philadelphia and New York, so down the road, who knows?
Yeah. Maybe they pop in. Maybe they've got a little beef. They're like, hey, I remember when because Ortiz doesn't play third, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but still, I could be like, all right, I remember playing Jersey. I remember playing the Philly. I remember you, Ortiz, from when that dude slapped me in the back. Like, maybe McDonald gets a little salty. Maybe he makes it. Maybe he gets a little salty towards that guy.
Something going on there.
A little something. Main thing I like out of it, though, is that like one of the things when you look at like this level of baseball, the big question mark is, are they playing to win or are they just playing to develop? And the way that we played this week, I think it's abundantly clear that we're playing to win.
Yeah.
That is what the baseball is here. McDonald doesn't fly into the bullpen if he's not trying to win this game. He doesn't get a little testy at third base if he's not in the moment trying to win this game. I think we got some competitors, and I think the games are competitive.
Well, and look, it's always cliche, and it's the Yankees, blah, blah, blah. But there is something about the Yankees and winning that if you don't win, it's a fairly unacceptable thing throughout this organization, and the Yankees are all about that. We know about the rings, we know the history, and has it ebbed and flowed? Of course it has. That's just time. It does happen. But right now, this is a very competitive group and led by a guy in Dan Fiorito who is clearly a winner.
Yeah, and they're I have so much fun watching these guys play.
Yeah, me too.
There's fun little personalities out there. They're a fun group of players. They're guys who give it everything. I mean, watching guys go from like there was a bunt, I think, that just maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but somebody bunted and just like flying down the line ends up I think it was Cuevas.
Probably Cuevas.
Yeah, it took second base on like a ball that made it like kind of a close play over it or at second too. But these guys are trying to make stuff happen.
And we talked to Cuevas. He was one of a couple of players we talked to on my roundup that we do before home games. What a great guy! I liked him.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun guys on this team. I don't think we've run into any duds.
We haven't.
There's nobody I've looked at that's like, all right, he's kind of unapproachable. They're a very approachable bunch.
No, Zach Green was fun. We talked to him as well, and he pitched well last night, part of a one-hitter, which, we really didn't get to kind of build that tension up because Ken Waldichuk was chucking a no-hitter at one point, and the one hit was a dribbler kind of behind second, in which Peraza was able to range over and get the ball, but on the transfer couldn't get rid of a good throw. So it did turn into a hit, and I did talk to the official scorer, Mike Ferraro. I totally agree. It was a hit.
Yeah, I agree too. That ball was just kind of, it's a kind of a sucky hit, but it's still a hit nonetheless. It's one of those like no man's land ones where even if he fields it cleanly and makes the throw, it's going to be a real close play at first. So it's a tough play either way.
Yeah, had they gotten through 6, that's to me when you get serious about a no hitter. We're talking into the 5th, not yet.
Well, and you mentioned on the broadcast the high strikeout rate too, because I think he had 9 strikeouts in like 4 1/3.
It just runs up.
But it runs up so high, and especially like I think early to start the game. I think didn't he walk 2 consecutive to open this?
He gave up
open
a couple
the
of
game
hits early on, he
didn't give up any hits.
Yes, he walked a couple early on.
Yeah. So I remember the first inning there were a couple guys on base. They had to send. I always forget. Is it Casadiego? What's the pitching coach's name?
Oh yeah, Gerardo Casadiego.
He went out, had to use a mound visit in the first inning, which is always fun to think about when somebody doesn't give up a hit that they had to be talked to by the pitching coach in the first inning. But that sort of stuff just like it prevents you from getting deep into games, but it is impressive nonetheless.
Oh, it definitely is. It was really impressive the way Waldichuk pitched. I'm trying to pull up his numbers from last night just to remind myself because, again, 2 games, 14 innings of baseball. There was so much going on here.
Yeah, I want to say it was 4 1/3, 9 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs.
Sounding right. Right to me.
That's off the top of my head, folks.
2 walks, 9 strikeouts.
2 walks. Yep. Yeah, I didn't include the walks in the player of the game because who needs to talk about that? Yeah. But both of those were in the first inning, so he was rolling after that.
That is correct. That is true. Marquardt walked, Stott walked, and then he got a fly out off Logan O'Hoppe. Ortiz grounded out to Wagaman, and Vito Fresia struck out swinging. So there you go.
So who surprised you in this homestand? Because this is the second time now the team is a little bit more congealed. I don't know. I can think of a better word.
Good word.
But yeah, but they're now kind of, they're not just sort of like this loose collection that are all starting off. They're starting to find their strokes. Who kind of impressed you or surprised you from this homestand?
Oh boy. I was impressed by the way Green pitched last night. I felt like I saw Wagaman having better at bats. Mm-hmm. Much better at bats that kind of culminated in what we saw because he did get a couple of things going right this week and then culminating last night with the walk-off base hit. Those are a couple of guys who stood out to me. Duran becomes more of a revelation, not necessarily a surprise, but I like Duran at first, but I like him even better since Brooklyn and then this week as well. Some good players. And Nelson. I really like Nelson.
Yeah, James Nelson was one where I think even just at the tail end of Brooklyn, I guess I don't have his game by game in front of me, but I felt like watching the tail end of Brooklyn and watching our homestands. We talked about this on Rob's Roundup, but it felt like he was getting, he maybe wasn't on having the best at bats every single time, but he was getting clutch. He was having clutch at bats, clutch hits, clutch home runs, driving in runs. He was doing a really good job. Did he just message you?
No, his dad did.
Oh, his dad's name is James Nelson.
Yeah,
yep. Got it. Hey, James.
They were listening. His dad was listening. Family and friends heard it as well. 16 of family and friends were here at the doubleheader on Saturday night. And, of course, they're listening to the broadcast from the seats. What was I telling you? What was I telling you?
Look at that.
People listen from the seats.
Did they tune in on the radio from their seats? Like, do they have like a little Walkman? Feel free to comment, James. Did you have like a little those little tape deck things that you can dial into a radio station, or were you listening on your phone?
Probably on the phone.
I really want it to be a tape recorder.
That would be a pretty good an old Walkman.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
The best. You know,
or like the note to self ones. Although I guess those probably wouldn't have radio.
I had one of those yellow Sony Walkmans back in the day.
You're in broadcasting. You probably have one of those little recorders where
sure.
We're going to interview, and you'd hold it out and it had the little microphone stick that stuck out the top.
Not quite that nice.
Okay,
I never had one that nice, but I had a couple of handheld recorders, yeah. I even had the little cassette recorder, the little micro cassette.
Yeah, something that had a device in it. So you probably have like an archive full of tapes of people you've talked to.
I do still have some archives.
And stuff.
Yeah.
You seem like the type who'd have archives.
Yeah.
You're a historian. You've got that stuff.
I am. But Mr. Nelson did kind of blame you and I. Remember we were talking about James during the broadcast last night?
Did we jinx him?
Apparently we jinxed him.
Oh,
although he doesn't really think he doesn't really think that.
He's also a little stitious. A little stitious.
You're not superstitious.
Not super. Just a little stitious.
Yeah, he does blame us a little for the outcome of his last at-bat. He's just kidding.
Oh,
he really
fine.
is.
Okay,
but really nice to hear from him. And we love to hear from you as well.
Yeah, Nelson was definitely one guy that I really grew to appreciate, I feel like, in this last homestand, in that he's a professional hitter, I feel like. He had a couple, I think he had it's easy to get excited about a home run, but I was really excited about him just sort of we needed a base runner. He took a pitch on the outer half and just sort of drove it through the hole between second and first. And that's a professional hitter who's I need to get on base. I'm just going to make sure that we get on base, move the runner over. It was a really nice at bat.
The evolution of baseball statistics is such where I still hold batting average as being something important, but you don't necessarily look at batting average with James Nelson, who's hitting 265, but seems to understand the situations, as you said.
He's putting himself in positions to help the team, which is all you really want out of a hitter, right?
Absolutely true. Is this getting too serious baseball talk?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about something silly? I don't know. Pick something silly.
Go silly. No, you're the master of silly.
I'm the silly guy. You can't just be silly on demand.
Of course you can be. Well, you're trying to make me silly on demand.
Oh, that's fair. Should we talk about how you told your son that he's not yours on the broadcast last night?
I did say that.
Yeah. The look Sean threw, he's just what?
Now, if you don't know, my son and I look very similar, and pretty much his whole life he's been a spitting image of me. So clearly he's mine, but Zach lined me up for something, and that was my response.
I don't even think I lined you up. It was something about we all like to keep secrets, and you're like, I've got secrets, and I was like, what's your secret? You're like, Sean's not mine.
He was there. I really appreciate it.
Sure. I was so tickled by the idea that is the proper time to tell him, and that's how. It's nobody's ever asked about any of my secrets. I'll tell you probably the biggest one is that kid doesn't belong to me.
I promise you, he really is mine.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he'll be questioning it now for the rest of his life. He'll be going on 23andMe or Ancestry, and okay, let me send in some DNA and just see what happens.
I actually can't believe you were the only person that I got grief from. I didn't get grief from anybody else about it.
I just that just feels like a sketch. Yeah. Well, one time, I'm really embarrassed about this, but I stole a pack of gum from a convenience store.
Right.
It was an accident. I just I had it in my hand, and then I paid for my gas, but forgot to put it on the thing, and I walked out, and then I didn't go back to do anything about it. And your secret, it's I've got a secret too. That kid's not mine.
Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, that's how you found out, but I've never been prompted with a secret before.
You really are still mine, but it was just too good to have fun with.
We should have, that feels like that'd be a fun promo night, is tell your secrets.
Or are we bringing in Maury Povich?
Yeah, well, kind of, right? You could be all right, you can get into the game. Let's say you get into the game for free, okay, but you have to share a deep, dark secret. And it's a little bit on the honor system. It has to be a true thing, but come up and share the thing you've been dying to get off your chest. Come and share that at the Dutch. I feel like that would be a fun thing.
Well, to that end, that's something that we do every night, which we haven't really talked about. It's one of the games that goes on the board with this is true and this is not true.
Oh, the U-Man lie detector?
The U-Man lie detector.
Yeah, but those aren't deep dark secrets. Those are just weird things that happen to be true.
They're not. I actually knew one the other night when Feldman was on the board because he told me ahead of time.
Well, yeah.
He tipped me off on that.
I know. I'm amazed anybody didn't know it because Feldman will walk around and tell everybody he can see.
Well, that's true.
But no, yeah. We've had a couple fun ones. One of our interns just lost at sea for a little while. It's Will in our box office when he was young, he was out at some beach and got sort of washed away by the water, and he and his brother got stranded at Rihanna's beach house for 20 minutes. There's a lot of Zoles is apparently got snuck into the 1980 Lake Placid Olympics, got to see the Miracle on Ice. There's a lot of just things that people here have done that they're just sort of embedded in weird worlds and weird stories. What'd you get? All of a sudden you're just going hard for your phone.
Well, I see comments. I get nervous.
So. Oh, okay. All right. Was this about our about Sean?
No.
This isn't like the results from your paternity test or something?
No, we're good on that front, but whenever I read the words no sound, I get nervous.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there's me.
That's you. That's me.
There's you.
We're good.
All right.
Okay.
Try unmuting. I know you can't hear this, but try unmuting this stream.
No.
Push the button. The button's down. Where is the button? Is it on the right or the left? It's right in front of me. So right. Well, okay, I should maybe adjust myself before I start doing that. Right here, right there. Check the volume. Yeah. So what do you know about Wilmington coming up?
What
to
do I know
shift
about
it back to
Wilmington,
baseball?
to go back to baseball. There's a lot of construction on I-95. They're working on the viaduct. That's probably not what you wanted to know, right?
That's not super helpful.
No. Super helpful. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, this will be the first time that we see the Blue Rocks.
It is the first time we've seen the Blue Rocks. I don't know a whole lot about them yet. I have a connection at Wilmington, but it's not a media person at the moment, so I got to work on a media person. Their broadcasts are college students, and it's a series of college students. So there's not like there's one in particular. Like,
got it.
You know, Greg Jamborisi's been my back and forth. And by the way, he sent great media notes. I feel almost ashamed, but really great stuff coming from Greg down at Jersey Shore. I know Keith Ratt at Brooklyn. So I've got those people. I don't really have one at Wilmington, so I got to get that going.
Yeah. But there will be. I don't know anything about him either. We mentioned in the description we were going to preview, and what we're previewing is that they'll be playing Wilmington. Do you know they have a stream? Can they watch it on MILB.TV?
They have an audio stream.
Got it. So you can listen to the games.
Yeah, you can listen to the games. I'm not aware of a video stream. I don't think they do MILB TV. I thought the goal was to have everybody, but that's.
Goals are goals, right? They're aiming for it, but
I think that was MIL or MLB because really MLB runs the show now.
Yeah,
I think that was MLB's goal, but sometimes best laid plans.
Yeah, maybe we'll pack everything up and drive down there and try to broadcast.
You know me, I would go.
That's a heart attack that I need, right?
I'm trying to, at the very least, get Zach to go to Brooklyn with me, and we'll do a game together down there.
I think that would be fun. I have friends who live in Brooklyn too. They love Coney Island. So
there you go.
Because that's where the Cyclones are, right? They're around
Nathan's
Coney
Hot Dogs right there.
Yep. I remember actually long before coming here, we went to go visit them, and we went out to Coney Island. I was like, "Is that a baseball field right by the road? That's kind of cool."
Yeah.
And then that was the last I thought about the Brooklyn Cyclones until now. But yeah, I would love to do that. I think that'd be a really good time.
Well, I hope it does happen.
We could document like the whole train ride down. Like we'd take the train into the city and like go shopping on go to Fifth Avenue or something.
Okay.
And you hit all the stuff.
All right.
Go like hit the Empire State Building and then go check out the lady with the torch.
Also known as the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that one. And then go from there over to Coney Island and watch the game. Yeah. I'm not from here, Rob. I don't know about all you guys' weird,
you're not from America?
niche little
You're not from the United
New
States?
York landmarks, right? I know about the cherry and the spoon, and I know where
lakes.
Prince's house is. I know that stuff.
Okay, so Prince.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated, or just rated enough?
Underrated. I love people who have an air of mystique to them. By the way, he's very highly rated, but I think the full level of Prince is underrated. Oh. I think he's one of the best guitar players that's ever lived. I think he's so unabashedly was so unabashedly himself.
That is true.
I don't listening to his music, like some things hit me good and some don't, but
that is fair.
But you can't deny Prince as being the most individualistic individual, most authentic individual that you'll ever meet.
I will not disagree with that take on him.
I'm from Minnesota. We all have very strong Prince opinions.
I figured you. Are there negative Prince opinions in Minnesota? I didn't think so.
Not really. He's ours. We embraced him.
No, I didn't think so. Okay, fair enough. Jacob Rhinesmith is your leading hitter for the Wilmington Blue Rocks.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Look forward to you facing Luis Medina, Ken Waldachuk, Hayden Wesneski, and others.
He is hitting .308, 5 doubles, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He leads the team in runs batted in. He has walked 12 times.
And the fun fact about those double and home run and RBI numbers is that they will be the same when the series is over.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how confident I feel in our pitching staff.
Wow, I like this.
Yeah. Oh, you like seeing stats, or you just like my confidence?
No, I like your confidence.
You like my confidence. Look
like
at how I'm sitting. This is how a confident person sits.
I know, I see that. I'm
barely touching the chair. That's how confident
really
people
is.
sit.
I am not.
My butt is like legit going to slide off if I don't adjust here soon. But I'm so confident that it's not going to happen while I'm on air that I'm just going to keep doing this.
In the meantime, Alex Troop is 4-0 with a .75 ERA. Only 12 innings of work, but still pitched pretty well, 4-0.
Yeah, 12 innings though. I mean, 3 innings into the next game when he gives up 17 runs, it's gonna balloon a little bit. So sorry about that.
Right.
Try to get a screenshot of what your ERA is now and then send that out, and maybe they'll promote you on that. Because after this weekend or after this week, it's gonna be sky high, baby.
After the first bomb hit by our guy Wagaman.
Yeah, Wagaman.
He's gonna break out.
He's gonna hit a grand slam after Peraza rips a double.
How about Jersey Shore with 2 grand slams this week?
Yeah, and they were all like, what game was it where we were up like 7-1, and then all of a sudden they got a run, got another run, then hit a grand slam. We're like, oh, now it's 1 run.
That was the night Ortiz went off with the 6 RBIs. Yeah, it was. What was it? It was 7-6 at one point. Then it was 8-7, and then the Renegades pulled away a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't. We went. It was funny because in St. Paul, we had guys that would hit a lot of home runs, but we had like this really weird grand slam drought where like we went like 4 years without a grand slam. We had plenty of home runs, but like it was some ridiculous amount of time without a grand slam. And then all of a sudden, like somebody hit one and we were all like, "What? It's a grand slam. Isn't that great?" We had 2 in the same series, 2 in the same game,
but not 2 in the same inning.
Yeah, it wasn't in the same inning, but it was in the same game. Right?
We didn't have 2 in the same game.
I thought they hit the grand slam to cut it to 1, then they hit a grand slam in extras.
No, there was the one that's 2 different nights.
Oh, okay, got it.
Wednesday
Guys,
night was
it's all
the grand
blurred
slam.
together.
Wednesday night was when Stott came up. The Renegades were winning. Stott singled, drove home. That's the night that the Tank Adamson, the Jersey Shore manager, got thrown out.
Okay, yeah.
He got ejected. Stott hit.
By the way, that guy was definitely out.
Yeah, I thought he was out.
He was out.
I thought
he was out. Clint McLeod did a great job on the replay. We had a great angle of it.
Clint? He's been so good on replay.
That's been one of the nice things we've been able to add is getting some replays up.
Yeah.
And he's had some experience doing it before, but he was like admittedly a little rusty getting started. But once he got started, he's been flying.
He's been the man.
Yeah, and it's really added a lot to the production of the broadcast.
I agree.
I think it's been really good. So.
I agree. He's been great.
We're getting there. We're getting to where I want it to be. We're making our way that way.
We're getting there.
We're trending in the right direction.
Yes, absolutely trending in the right direction.
Now if I could just get the cameras to stay on the entire night, that would be great.
Well, there's that. And yeah, there's still things we're working on.
Yeah, we're kinking it out. We're ironing out all the
Rome and Wappingers Falls weren't built in a day.
yeah.
Still have
it was like 2.5
run
days.
Down to the field, but it takes a while. This stuff takes time.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're going to get there.
We'll get there.
September
we'll
19th. It'll all come together.
Yeah. MILB.TV. Use the promo code Renegades for $10 off.
Smooth.
Yeah.
You want to promote ticket sales?
Yeah. Nah, just watch the stream.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. Come out to the games. Obviously, buy tickets. It's a great experience to come into the ball game and watch the baby Bombers. HVRenegades.com
845-838-0094.
Sounds about right. I work in media. I don't have to use the phone number. The one thing, just a quick mention. I figured why not mention it here. We've been posting it everywhere. But if you had a ticket to tonight's game, that ticket acts as what we call a rain check. And what that means is you can exchange that ticket for any other game as long as we have availability that is of equal or lesser value, or that you pay the difference for the ticket with a higher value. You must physically bring your ticket to the ticket office in order to exchange it. That way we can make sure that we're not like handing out too many rain checks. That's the one caveat there. Wanted to make sure that everybody had that information. But yeah, that's the only ticket stuff that I really got, other than we start back up in June again here at home. June 15th, I want to say, is the first game back. Is that Tuesday? Right. If the 18th is Friday, 17th would be Thursday, 16th would be Wednesday.
At the schedule, and you are correct, sir.
Yeah. So come on out. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. It should be a good time. And
by the way, yesterday Zach was my guest on Rob's Roundup, and I brought up Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Yeah, and now you can't get it out of your head.
Well, besides that, as I'm on the air during the doubleheader, and I say this with no joke, but just purely the sad coincidence, I find out B.J. Thomas, the singer who made it famous, died during the game.
Yeah. During the game?
During the broadcast, it came up.
Wow. Yeah.
And I just looked down and went, of all the days I was talking about that song, and...
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
He probably saw one last rainstorm and
that was it.
Wow. Interesting. Pour one out, I guess.
That was our moment of silence. For
just a real quick one.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we talked about rain songs a little bit. When it's raining, I'm not super into listening to rain songs, but I do have music that I like when it's raining.
Okay.
I have a big musical interest. I'm into a lot of different things.
Yeah, me too.
But particularly when it's raining, I get really jazzed about jazz. And I've been jamming to some jazz down in the studio while we've been trying to put together stuff.
Like what?
Just I usually put on just instrumental cool jazz, right? Like something that's a little bit mellower, has a little pace to it. That sort of blue, what is the Miles Davis album?
That's
called?
exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Kind of blue.
Not Bitches Brew,
no,
but
no, that's a different album.
Very different tone.
Very different tone, but kind of blue.
Yeah, something that's sort of a little bit more slowed down, a little bit lazy. Not lazy, but it has that vibe.
Yeah.
They're sort of just
chill,
something about a nice piano and a sort of a little bit of a melancholy muted trumpet.
I like it.
And it just hits me just right. When we're talking about rain songs, I don't particularly have any that stick out other than a few here and there, because most of the time if it's kind of crappy out, I just sort of throw on something and just embrace sort of the gray. That was one of the things. We took our honeymoon in Paris.
It is gray. Did you?
And it was a little rainy when we were there, and we were like, it really does wear gray really well in Paris. And we were listening to a lot of jazz when we were in Paris, and it was really cool.
That'd be so great. I've never been to France.
Yeah,
I've been to Europe. Not
France.
I
recommend Paris is a good spot to go because as long as you give, you don't have to speak French, but as long as you give bonjour a good effort, they will identify you as an American right away and speak back to you in English, because everybody there can speak multiple languages.
Okay.
So there was a lot of bonjour, and they're like, hello, American. Would you like a crepe? Yes. Would like a crepe. That is why I'm here.
I do remember that going to the first time I went to Quebec. I went into it was a Crown Plaza I walked into. That's where I was staying, and the woman behind the counter greeted me in perfect French, and I went, "Good morning," and you could just see her full face go, "Last name."
It was funny. We did a food tour, and it was in English, and our guide was speaking to us in English, but also, so we were going around getting different food and trying different wines and stuff like that. But one of the things that they also had was it was sort of here's your, surviving as an American in Paris 101 sort of class. And the one thing she said was you, as long as you say it, and if you want to try to pass, you have to give it a little bit. And I'm there's no way I can give it a little bit. It's going to be bonjour, manger bison contre toi, manger de bé, votre water, culture, manger du monte toi, baja. And she was yeah, don't do that. So I was yeah, so I'm just going to do, bonjour. I'm from America. I believe it says bonjour? Bonjour. Bonjour.
Could be worse. He could be saying Bon Jovi. So.
Yeah. Fucking Bon Jovi.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Did we run out of stuff to talk about?
Not yet.
Okay.
Anthony. He's disappointed. His first Renegades game got rained out today. You'll have another chance. We want you to get that ticket. We want you to come back out here.
Yeah. Get on out. Go exchange your ticket.
Yep.
Get a ticket for another game. I mean, every game it feels has been exciting. I don't think we've had any kind of duds yet.
No, we
haven't been
actually.
Blown out at home, at least not that I can remember.
And even then, the effort of everybody in this ballpark to make it a good night. Even in the chill last night, there was a video on the board of a what I guess was a groundhog doing the whole Freddie Mercury Live Aid thing.
Yeah,
that had my son and I who's still my son, dying laughing.
Your actual son.
We were actually roaring watching that, for instance. Just one of the things that is so great about what goes on. And then the games Zoles does on top of the dugout. You did the match game. That was good.
Yeah. Match game was fun. What did you think of my answers?
We were laughing at them.
Yeah, that's good.
In fact, I think your employee went, of course, that's what Zach said.
Yeah, I'm not here to be in the box, Rob. I'm an outside the box man.
That's it. There were a couple of good games last night. So and again, for people and believe me, I'm not speaking for the team. I'm not making any promises. But we're getting so much closer day by day by day. Yeah,
we're kind of getting, as things keep progressing, we're getting closer and closer to being able to do kind of the fun Renegade stuff that we're used to. A lot more physical stuff, a lot more maybe some on the field stuff. A lot of that stuff is on the horizon.
Yeah.
So
none of that is promised yet. Yep. None of that is, we still, again, and it's worth saying again, this is not us doing it. It's not the Renegades doing it. It's still the state. It's still the government. It's still Major League Baseball too. Major League Baseball plays a big role in all this. That's why there are no signing of autographs and things like that going on. Yeah. And don't start writing letters, I guess. But that's just the way things are, and we're going to keep moving forward. And keep in mind, I'm the broadcaster. I still have yet to step foot on the field with the players down there this year. I can't go down to batting practice. I can't go to the clubhouse. I can't do any of that stuff. Any of my input with Dan Fiorito, for instance, is Zoom or the rare text because he is super busy. Yeah, and that's how he wants it. He doesn't want Rob anywhere near his players, and he really just wants them to stay away from him as long and as much as possible. How do we help Anthony? He's a 2.5 hour drive away. How do we help him with his tickets? Oh, gosh. We're here to help. If the box office is open, if you have a game that you want to come to exchange your ticket, we will make sure that you get accommodated. Let us know that you're coming, and we'll make sure that you can get there and get a ticket in there. Because I did ask that. We do have to take them in person for the rain checks, but we've got plenty of tickets available still, and hopefully in the future we'll have more tickets available, and so we'll be able to accommodate you. But specifically, if you've got to drive that far, if you give us a call and let us know, hey, I'm coming, I want to exchange my ticket for this one, we can figure out some way that maybe we put a hold on that until you get here and we can verify the exchange. We'll figure out some way to make that happen for you. All right, coming up from Long Island, good. Let's make that happen. Did I tell you that for the longest time I thought Long Island was Manhattan? Did you really? Well, I didn't know Manhattan was where it is. Whoops. I thought not being from here that Manhattan Island was the little island that was stuck off. And I thought Manhattan was part of Long Island. So no kidding. Hey, the more you know. Then I was like, oh, it's just that little bit that runs right down there. It's that. Yeah, that's basically a peninsula if it weren't for a very small river. Okay. I thought for the longest time that once they showed me what Manhattan was, I thought it was a peninsula. And then we had to zoom super far in to find the little river that cuts in. Two rivers that run alongside of Manhattan, one being the Hudson? No, not that part. Okay. That was the part of the water that I thought made it like a peninsula. You were talking like the Harlem River. Yeah, that little guy that cuts right through. Because you can't see that unless you zoom way into the map. I got it. So it does look like, I'm like, all right, correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like it just flows right into big old New York. So John Whitman saying, what can you find in Las Vegas was my favorite question from last night. John, I am completely with you because I heard that same thing and I thought it was going to fall out of the booth because basically Rick Zolzer asked the question and the idea is it's two players. Is that the one where they're back-to-back? No, that's the Jinx one. Okay. Yeah, the back-to-back is so that they have to say the same thing at the same time. That's right. But they can't look at each other because they'll just start cluing each other. That's right. This is the one where they don't have to be back to back, but they have to each come up with an answer. It goes back to it's called tip of the tongue. So the idea is that you have to say it quickly. It's a rapid fire game, and if you hesitate or if you pause or if you make something up, I'm trying to remember which one they were talking about oceans, and somebody said Southeastern Ocean, and they're like, no, hold on. I think he got 2 passes before Zola was like, wait a minute, that's not a real ocean.
you know.
Well, in this case, it was what can you find in Las Vegas? And before they even let the players start, Zoles went keep it clean.
Yeah.
And the first guy said slot machines, and the second guy just went stone-faced.
Yeah.
He had nothing.
It is like, it's almost like the power of suggestion, right? As soon as Zoles put in keep it clean, all you think about is the dirtiest thing you can think of, right?
So it just wasn't going to go well.
Yeah.
We are still a family operation here,
Yeah, sure.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Still some kids.
Fun for all ages.
Fun for all ages.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
All right. What else do we got? We got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for listening to Renegades Weekly.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's your bit.
That's my,
Okay,
we switched bits.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You sign us off.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sign us off. We will be back, what was it, the 15th?
Yeah, the 15th.
June
Back the 15th.
15th.
Doubleheader on the 18th.
That is correct. But the office is always open, business hours, of course. Get your tickets. Check the promotional schedule. All kinds of great merch. More keeps coming in every day.
Yeah, we're going to try to get that stuff
great.
on the store, on the online store as well. So that's another question we've been getting a lot. I want to reiterate the interlocking HV hats are probably not happening this year. We've had a couple people ask still, and we're like, I was like, hey, didn't you listen to Renegades Weekly? We addressed it, obviously. But just to reiterate again, that hat unlikely, but there are other hats. The batting practice hat is really cool, the little HV home plate.
That hat, which is the one I have out in my car. I love that hat.
Yeah, and we've got like other really cool stuff. We've got like, I don't even know what you call it, but it's like the short sleeve windbreakery cover.
Yes.
Like it's like almost like a batting practice cover thing.
Yep.
It's a really cool whatever you call it, shirt, but not a shirt, but not a jacket, but kind of a jacket, that sort of thing.
There's the one T-shirt that just has Rascal's face on it and it says beer, baseball.
Yeah.
I like that one.
We got a lot of good merch. So, and right now the team store is probably the best spot to get it until we can get, actually over this homestand, we're going to be making a concerted effort to get a lot of that stuff up on the online store as well. So
there's another Zach down there and he runs it and he's really great.
Yeah. If you walk in and say, I'm here to see Zach, you'll get like 6 people that come up and try to help you with something.
It's pretty close to being true. So get your tickets. Keep an eye on the Renegades. Keep an eye on the website, of course, because we'll keep posting stories there with game recaps. But watch the team and listen to the team while they're down in Wilmington and then Brooklyn and then back here against Jersey Shore with a doubleheader included in that week of that homestand. So that's it. We're out of here. I guess I got to make it.
We're out of steam. I have to go. I think we've officially like human rain delayed this rain delay. I think.
We need that Yes Network.
I've managed to
sad music.
Yeah, I've managed to avoid having to answer phones now for about an hour. So
I'm always happy to help you
this is a good day for me.
All right, for Zach Neubauer, I'm Rob Adams. Thanks for watching Renegades Weekly. Thanks for listening if that's where you joined us, and we'll see you next week.